Yeah. What's up, bro? How you living?
Oh, staying alive.
Staying alive.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just really excited about today, man, because I checked the streams on my Spotify, and it had a huge spike.
Fuck yeah.
And that makes me feel really good because there's people actually listening to what I have to say, and this is just me going the extra mile.
Hell yeah.
Just to make sure that people completely understand what I'm talking about and can kind of see the multi-dimensionality to kind of what I'm talking about. So yeah, but this song right here, man, dude, it was awesome. It's like a huge song for me. It's called Chaos, and it's a pretty in-depth song. But yeah, see what you think, man.
Yeah, lay it on me. What track is this on the record?
So this is track 9.
Okay.
So there is a little bit of a confusion. So the last song on the album is 9.
Okay.
But track 9, the 9th song on the album, is called Chaos.
It's Chaos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a confusion, but it's all good. But yeah, here we go.
You wanna talk about stirring the pot? Please, I stir galaxies. But that's only to change your neuroplasticities. Doing something like that, you might have just woken up the rainbow serpent. Run home. Spitting fire at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour, it might overwhelm you, you better repent. It's not a good idea to figure out how it was sent. Matter of fact, you're better off trying to pitch your own tent. Lawyers out here trying to prove someone's intent. Change for the better, like $1 at a 50-cent. Inefficient, we'll find not sink up a cent. Cutting your body, chopping up your intentions, and this is your roles.
I let that play out. You got a good feel for that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a little bit to unpack, so kind of bear with me. So first line is, you want to talk about stirring the pot? Please, I stir galaxies. So that's basically I'm just maximizing, the manipulation or whatever is going on.
Yeah, what you're doing.
So you want to talk about stirring the pot? Okay. Please, I stir galaxies. So that's the biggest pot there is. So, and then but that's only to change your neuroplasticities. So neuroplasticities, that's just the networking in your mind and how your mind's kind of connected and whatnot. And so basically, me stirring galaxies is to change your mind on how we feel about things. It's not anything negative or positive. It's just to change kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then doing something like that, you might have just woken up the rainbow serpent. That's just a metaphor for the Kundalini energy, whatever energy you want to talk about being it within you, your life force. Just kind of wake you up so that way you can see. So that way you can kind of see, what is out there, when you change your mind.
Oh yeah.
I guess. And then spitting fire at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour, it might overwhelm you, you better repent. So that's just basically just speeding you up, accelerating. Spitting fire is just the speech. And then it's not a good idea to figure out how it was sent. So this is basically what the premise of Chaos is a lot of things are going to happen in your life, but it's not a good idea to always figure out how and why they happened all the time, because you're getting in your own way.
Yeah.
So the premise of the song is just to hit you with a lot of mental imagery and to just kind of take you on that chaotic journey, so that way you can just kind of experience what chaos is.
Right.
And then after that line, I say, matter of fact, you're better off trying to pitch your own tent. So you're better off trying to do your own thing rather than trying to figure out where it was sent.
Makes sense, yeah.
Then I switch it up. Lawyers out here trying to prove someone's intent.
Yeah.
That actually has a backstory, because I was in jury duty, and basically all the lawyer was talking about was you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt, or, basically someone's intention or means to do what they did.
Right.
And so that's why I'm lawyers out here trying to prove someone's intent, basically trying to make a change for the better, $1 out of 15 cents. We have heard that line. And then I'm in here basically fishing, hook, line, not sinker, but scent. So basically I'm hooking the line. It's not sinking, it's just being sent out. Because like the sinking kind of takes you into like that.
Okay, so
Just that
S-E-N-T scent at the end there?
Yeah, S-E-N-T, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah.
Wordplay.
Yeah. And then gutting your body, chopping up your intestines into sushi rolls. I know that's pretty graphic.
Yep.
You know, but it's basically just to like add to the chaos. It's just stirring the pot. Not
That's
any of
intense imagery too.
Yeah, it is. And then yeah, so that's the next. We'll proceed.
On the road, you ain't hesitant to take a chance, see how the dice roll. Comments like that sound like a fish swimming in the deep end. Don't know what you're gonna come up on it. Possible it could be the end. I'm just a hurricane, cause in all my impurities. They get hot like an Ezra, might bring snow flurries. Never mind that, man. Talk about the weather. Always keep it light, landing on the ground like a feather. And all my always gonna sell up with some cheese, and the lion's only gonna finish that steak. A fat kid with a slice of cake. What are you hungry for?
Right. I like these gaps. You can kind of get a little bit more of a feel for it. So now after sushi rolls, coming down my road, you might have to pay a toll. Take a chance, see how the dice roll. So that's like if you're coming down my way, if you wanted to do stuff with me, you might have to like pay homage, or you have to pay. There's something that's going to be exchanged.
Fair, yeah.
You know. Paying the toll.
This shit ain't free.
Yeah, you know. And then take a chance, see how the dice roll. So if you want to come down the road, take a chance, take a chance.
Yeah, see how it goes.
And then it's funny because like I say, comments like that sound like a fish swimming in the deep end. So comments like that, like you basically, sometimes I can go really, really deep, and it's way deeper than sometimes people want to really go.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really always like. Be careful, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Like you could be a fish swimming in deep end, and then I say, don't know what you're gonna come up on. If possible, it could be the end. So that's like, it is kind of like, it's not really a death threat, but it's like it could be the end of like whatever's going on with you, whatever's going on with me.
Right.
Not just particular like doing something like that, you know. And it does have like that type of a taint to it, but. Yeah, it has nothing to really do with that.
Right, it's more like the metaphor of like
this could be like, if I put out a song or if I put out an album, that could be the end of me.
Yeah.
That could be like the end of like where I'm at,
right.
And then a beginning to something else.
And ever taking that risk, right? Like that's always a definite plausibility.
Definitely taking that risk. And then I'm just a hurricane cleansing all my impurities. That's just a metaphor for like, yo, I'm a storm out here myself, you know. I got a bunch of things swirling around in
you're experiencing this chaos.
Yeah,
shit
my
too.
human experience.
Right.
And you know, I'm trying to cleanse all the impurities that I kind of have, as far as like if I have any negative connotation, like you always talk about, or if I, you know, have something I need to work on, something I need to get better at,
right?
And you know, stuff along all those lines.
Yeah.
And then then there's just some weather. Analogy. It can get hot like the desert, or it might bring snow flurries. So like you could just be real fire with it, or you could just be real cold hearted, or give them the cold shoulder, kind of stuff like that. And I'm just like, never mind that, man. Talk about the weather. Always keep it light, landing on the ground like a feather. So never mind that. Like talking about like, you know, what we were talking about. You know, always keep it light. You know, always keep it light. You know, landing on the ground like a feather. So you just. So then I say. You know, your mice is always going to sell out for some cheese. A lion's always going to finish their steak. A fat kid with a slice of cake, what are you hungry for? So mice is always going to sell out for some cheese, just like a human's going to sell out for some money. Or, you know, a lion, basically, if you give them a steak, they're always going to finish that. That's just, homie. Without a question. And then the fat kid with a slice of cake, that's just another analogy of that right. Same instance. And then I say, what are you hungry for? So it's basically like, what are you hungry for? What do you want to do in life? What do you want to be? What do you even like? Yeah, literally, what are you hungry for? And sometimes
yeah. What you feeling right?
Yeah, because we about to get some food, right?
Fuck yeah.
All right, so yeah, we'll commence.
Hold the check to see if it's the correct door. The first one, the second one. Come on, let's find more. Yo, it's a job and a knock, baby, on our screw the door number 4. Identify what you're looking for. It talks to me, it looks at me, it talks to me through you, and it talks to me through me. We shall see. Really ask the question on what it really means to be free. We shall see, we shall see. The ultimate chemical process, since you install, you really have to travel that far. It's like a relationship between body and intuitory. Hope to get a little guard, something like Alex, on the right, in the short story. Hannibal, Lecter, just a day.
I love this part because it starts building up. But so
Yeah, I was like ramped up there.
in continuation from what are you hungry for? Walking down the hall, checking to see if it's the correct door. The first one, the second one, come on, let's find more. Third one is a charm, better not break my arm. Ah, screw it, did door number 4. So that whole sequence of lines is pretty much just talking about like opportunities in life.
Is it third one?
So I say
Is a charm?
third one is a charm.
Okay.
Better not break my arm. Ah, it did. Screw it, door number 4.
Okay. Hell yeah.
And then yeah, so it's just all many doors of opportunity in life that you kind of come upon.
Right.
And then I say identify what you're looking for. It talks to me, it looks at me, it talks to me through you, it talks to me through me. So all the different signs and opportunities in life and what's going on, you know, it talks, it looks at you through me, through everybody, basically.
Right. Yeah, we're always learning through it too.
And then that right there, all those potentialities,
Yeah.
basically has me really questioning on what it really means to be free in the next line. And then I say, we shall see, we shall see. Ah, dude, I'm about to get deep here. So this is ready. So the ultimate alchemical process turns you into a star. You don't really have to travel that far. A struggling relationship between pineal and pituitary. So that is very deep. So basically like the alchemical process of like basically becoming light. You know, if you're becoming light and you're becoming everything into the all, or they say, you know, you die or you go back into the source. That's basically like the ultimate alchemical process turns you into a star. And people say you have to go to miles and hundreds of thousands of miles and blah, blah, blah. You have to go really far just to do that kind of stuff. And I say, nah, you don't really have to travel that far. It's a struggling relationship between pineal and pituitary. That's just the eye and the crown, basically. And then basically that's like the highest, you know, level of kind of like where we function. I kind of like desecrate that imagery because it's like really high heaven, and then I'm like hopes to get a little gory. Something Edgar Allan Poe could write in a short story starring Hannibal Lecter. So that's just like saying those names and like the story that could like
Immediately,
happen.
yeah, just like
It just starts, yeah, you see the spectrum, as you would say. And so like I kind of wanted to kind of like keep that chaotic going, because like, okay, yeah, you're in heaven, you're like, you see the thing, and it's like, all right, we're going back down into it now.
right.
And so yeah, that's like what that whole thing is about.
But it's all girl, but it's like a nerd, it's a man to the stir. I had to pull from all the reserves. Don't really get how you really like it, sir. You're in the wheel of life. Wow, when did you learn to drive? Yeah, for me, I've been experiencing quite a field. Permanent like a hand. What is your line of work? It really doesn't matter. All contributing to the day's source. North paper wearing choice past course. But it just popped the fucking cork. Devil is all looking for. Remnant towards I've been in the rest of eternity. You got white, it's permanent. It's so quick, this bitch. Touch some hands.
Wow. I just love the drama that in the suspense.
It's like a musical soap opera.
The symphonies. Okay, so the next line is just a sec, sir, about to throw a curve, about to strike a nerve, this is meant to disturb. So I say, hold on a minute. So because I like was talking about the story that could possibly, that was potential. And then I'm about to throw a curve. So this is basically like just deceiving you again.
Right.
About to strike a nerve, about to hit another nerve. And then this was meant to disturb, because this was this chaos. Chaos is meant to disturb, disrupt what you're doing. And you might have to pull from all the reserves. So it's like everything that's in your bag, everything that you carry. don't really care how you really like it served. So they don't really care how you want it. You know, this ain't have it your way. You know,
You may have another.
you know this.
You
is
get what you
just- Yeah, it doesn't, and you have to basically just maneuver through that and kind of create what you want.
Right.
You know, it doesn't really care how you like it served, unless you tell it. And then I say
just gotta
steering.
listen.
Yeah, and then steering the wheel of life. Wow, where'd you learn to drive that? So basically, just learning how to live, learning the art of living. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy. Wow, if you learn how to drive that, if you know the art of living, you know how to live, people are going to be like, where'd you learn how to drive that vehicle? You know?
Yeah, right. That's the
I
ultimate
want
vehicle.
to drive like you one day.
Yeah.
And then somebody like that would say, from eons of experience in quite a field, wearing it like a hat. So basically the hat is the crown again. That's like, you know, that's your mind. You know, that's where you kind of pull information from. And you're wearing all those experiences, all the knowledge, everything that you've gone through, like your records, your archives. Mm-hmm. You're wearing all that basically like a hat, like a crown. And that's kind of why you're a king, you know, or a pharaoh, I like to say. And then the people are like, well, what is your line of work? Because like you've basically like, you have a great life. They want to know what you do, you know? And then say, doesn't matter. Because like, it doesn't really matter what you do. We're all contributing to the same source. We're all contributing to like the life force, you know?
That makes sense.
Unless you're trying to go opposite. And I say,
Which then you still are, right?
you kind of are, dude. So it's like it's pull push pull kind of thing. So you know, maybe we're heading towards a crash course. So the stuff that we're doing now, as far as jobs and industries and stuff like that, who knows? Who knows if that's going to be the solution forever? That could just be like, we might just be heading towards a crash course.
Yeah.
And then I say, oops, might have just popped the cork.
Yeah.
So now it's all coming out now. Yeah. So it's all coming out now. And then I say, this is a pretty graphic line, stabbing the devil with his own fucking fork. So basically just like, yo, like I'm just reversing, you know, what's been put on me or whatever. And then ripping his horns off, spending the rest of eternity figuring out why it has come to this. Because it's like, dude, if you kill the devil, if you kill the source of evil, there's a chance that you are now the source of evil, or you are the, you know.
Yeah.
Because like
Laws of Warriors would dictate that for
it's
sure.
pretty crazy. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's pretty intense.
Right.
And then after you've done something like that, you know, just like the potential, or like the potential of doing something like that, and you do that, you're going to probably be spending the rest of eternity figuring out, why it has come to this. Like, why?
Until someone comes and
Bless.
stabs you with a fork.
Damn you, Poseidon.
To the cycle.
I knew somebody. I knew this day would come. And then I say, so quick to dismiss, because some people are just like, yeah, whatever, that would never happen.
Yeah.
And then I say, feathered serpent hiss. That's just like, psst, like speech, you know. And yeah, so we'll commence now.
They could have found some records, send you straight to death with a kiss. Watching you with my evil eye, connecting with infinity. That's a tie-dye. People have different ways connecting with the Most High. The way you open your eyes may not be the way they see. You is that wilt, your will is free. Your will is free. Above actual meditations, below backwards babies. Casually create cremations. They know that ain't dominant banners. Everyone's at a Gary time. Take back flavors for the flavors. That's good, that's great, that's grand. Concilious stretch by the wind of the band is fun.
I caught the conciliance line in there.
Hey,
I was like, I know that word.
GC, baby. So after that line, feather serpent hiss. They could have found some records, send you straight to death with a kiss. There's a conspiracy, out there that like the government has a list of names, and this is like me being in my own head and stuff like that. This is me I've talked to people about, but it's like they have a huge list of just everybody in the country, just the U.S. alone.
Yeah.
And there's like a depopulation thing. There's like a plan, so-called. And so basically they watch us all the time, you know. And when they're watching us, they basically are picking up on what we eat and all the stuff that we do. And who knows, they could have like said, you know what, this guy's done enough in his life. So we're gonna find some records, we're gonna get something on him, we're gonna get him in his routine, and we're just gonna do the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, having that kind of control.
But who knows if that's even possible? That's just kind of a
That's all
conspiracy.
speculation and
Yeah.
hearsay. Let the record show.
Well, listen, no reason.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, send you straight to death with a kiss. Watching you with my eagle eye. That's just being like, I'm above it, so I'm just trying to keep my head above, but also not above just water, but just above the air, and just being able to see it all, so that way, you know, I can kind of do what I want.
Right, you gotta.
And then I say, connecting with infinity. That's a tie-dye. So if you connect with infinity, you tie the knot, you're gonna die. You know, you're gonna die if you hit infinity, because like
Can't contain
you
that.
can't contain that. And then
That's a tie-dye.
people have different ways of connecting to the Most High. So their God, you know, who they look up to,
Right.
their role model in life, their mentor, just someone who, like, you know, they look up to and they idolize, their idol. So people have a different way of connecting to what their Most High is.
Right.
You know, so that's
Like how they get there.
Yeah.
Meditation, prayer.
all those things.
Yeah.
You know, the way that you open your eyes may not be the way they see, so they may not see how you see it.
Right.
You know, and I say, "Do as thou wilt, your will is free." That's just one of those lines. You know, we all know. Most of us know where that comes from,
Yeah.
but you know, your will is free. But I want to flip the coin too. So love is the law, and love is under will. So we're all doing this because we love doing what we do. You know, that's just like the prime thing of that. That's the coin. So your will is free. Your will is free, but just know you're gonna reap what you sow. All the stuff that's done to you, you're gonna be done back. You know,
Right.
it's just that cycle.
You're gonna get what you put out.
Yeah. And then I say, above actual annotations. So just above basically what I'm writing about. Below backwards babies. So this is just like below people. So it's deep. So backwards babies is like the rich people, they have everything done for them. The people that are always barking orders, sitting in the corner office, people who are, you know, just telling everybody what to do when they're sitting down. Those are backwards babies.
Yeah.
And so it's below them. So it's above what it's being right about, but it's below them. Casually creating cremations, so basically kind of disintegrating everything casually and creating that. Denoting dominance downers, so signs of people who are just downing the dominance and people who are even downing others. So just basically denoting all that. And then everyone's energy every time. Like everything that you do, it's going to get your energy regardless. Like it doesn't even matter.
Right.
And then fakey fake flavors for the flavors. So fakey fake favors for the flavors.
Okay.
So people are flakes, it's fake, it's favors, it's get the things they want. That's good, that's great, that's grand. Consilience tries to grab the width of the band. So we, like you said, you picked up on that consilience line.
Yeah.
So consilience is the unity of knowledge. So basically it tries to connect the width of the band. That's all it is. It tries to grab that whole bandwidth and just basically just maneuvers through that. It's not really trying to
Judge any of those things, but
and it's not even like you're trying to be like him. You know, you're just like experiencing life to the absolute fullest.
right. And accepting, you know, that these are all plausibilities inside of it.
Yeah.
Good, great, grand.
We don't need a bunch of Dr. Manhattans
Yeah.
walking around because that's too much to handle. So yeah, we'll commence.
Judging even on where you stand, protect your reputation, let's call it a brand. Take a look at the track record, they could have been studying rationality. This world has too many principalities, I'm thinking after these neutralities. I chose to begin, moving at the pace of a lizard. Smacking every so-called wizard of Oz, the spiritual's back, man, fuck these laws. Heads up, 7 up, every time I check the time it's 11 up. radioactive on the radio station. How to run in my shell, never wish you done, wish you well. Gravity against the determines how I fell. Never these details, all the perfect flaws in your hell.
Right. Dude, it's so hard for me to contain myself. I want to just go crazy. But, so after that last line, consilience line, it's funny they judge you even on where you stand. So wherever you stand mentally, emotionally, physically, they're going to judge you regardless.
Right.
Protect your reputation, they call it a brand. So the government, I do not like dropping brands, but we'll have to. Pepsi, Coke, Domino's,
Adidas.
Burger King, Adidas, yeah.
Yeah.
Even Global Consilience. Those are brands
Yeah.
that have reputations and they're protecting them.
Right.
Just basically trying to protect them. And
Protect and project.
yeah, and then basically proof is take a look at their track record. Just take a look at what they've done.
Right.
They have been studying irrationalities. So I've read this book called The Hidden Persuaders, and basically there's just these people that are pulling the strings of these corporations and they're studying people's irrationality. So people's like weird behaviors and why they do the things that they do and make them who they are. So they study
Right.
that.
Makes
And then I
sense.
say this world is full of too many principalities, too many conglomeracies, syndicates, groups, social groups, whatever focus groups that are just around the world. Too many of them, dude, and it drives me crazy. And then I say I think I'm after these neutralities. So staying neutral and all that is really
The
hard.
hardest part for sure.
Yeah, walking that middle path.
Yeah.
Think I'm after these neutralities. I chose to forget. Moving at the pace of a lizard, smacking every so-called Wizard of Oz. So I chose to forget because it's like, dude, I don't want to know all this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, forget this, man. I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to know all this all the time.
I feel that.
Moving at the pace of a lizard, so that's just taking your time, smacking every so-called Wizard of Oz. So anybody who's just like behind the scenes, dude, I'm smacking y'all. Like,
Hell yeah. Smack them all, bro.
Yeah. And then
What you doing back there?
Yeah. Snapper Turtle's back, man. F these laws. So that's just me snapping back. It's just using me as a metaphor.
Yeah.
Because you're moving at the pace really slow. Snapper Turtle talking stuff. I'm back. F these laws. Heads up, 7 up. So that's just like, you kind of waking up to things. Every time I check the time, it's 11:11. It's 7:11. It's always open. It's so funny. That's the gas station. So that's actually funny to me because every time I check the time, sometimes I do see 11:11, and 7-Eleven, I guess, doesn't really connect, numerologically, but 7-Eleven, 11:11 sounds like an opening or a synchronicity or an awakening that's happening. So
Right.
I kind of connected 7-Eleven to kind of like always being open, and so I thought that was kind of funny because it's like, haha, they are always open. It's the gas station.
Right.
And then I say radioactive on the radio station, so I'm on many different levels, kind of like, taking in different information. And hiding under my shell, so like my bag where I'm at. Dropping wishes down the wishing well, so I'm just basically putting my wishes, my stuff out there.
Right.
Gravity, I guess, determines how it fell, so let the chips fall where they may. Devilish details are the perfect flaws in your hell. So like your imperfections, stuff that you kind of do, that kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of is the perfect flaws in your environment because it kind of characterizes you and who
Right.
you are. So, yeah.
Looks like the human joystick just drooped out. Get King Kong the woman and chopped up the head of the three-headed dragon. Question its way to treacherous traitors, method of invaders, human nature, the pervading force of the universe. Sight, I'm just an ass a mere smoky token, juggling, jumping, and traveling time and town. Time and town.
that finishes out the song.
Hell yeah. No hook.
No, just harder, just bars, just chaos bars. I'm just flooding you out. But so yeah, man. Based off you know, the songs I showed you previously, you know, you kind of liking the album and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta get that.
I've
feedback
never
a little bit.
experienced a record like this for sure. I think, yeah, man, as a whole, I really like the message of speaking for your scar or from your scars. And then the rest of the songs on the record too. I do really like 9. I like that song.
Dude,
a
that
lot.
song I put a lot into. You know, I've definitely put a lot into that.
Yeah, and like as a whole, man, like I think that like I can feel that you've put a lot into this shit,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And like I mean even this song. Like
There's a lot of
there's a lot going into this. And I think that this song is probably the macro version of a lot of your writing, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But as a whole, like, yeah, man, like I would recommend it to anybody who's a listener of music. Give Playing with My Shadow a check out.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate it. So commencing on
Oh
what we
yeah,
said,
the last
little bit.
so we gotta
a little
pack
bit
the rest of
verse.
it.
Yeah, we gotta finish it out. So looks like the human joystick just juked out Godzilla, gave King Kong a woman, chopped off the head of the 3-headed dragon. So this is a metaphor for conquering the mind, basically. So looks like the human joystick. The joystick is basically me, as like me operating through my mind. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a video game, and it is also a name for Dante Hall, who played for the Chiefs. That dude's unreal with the footsies, with the footwork.
You got the fucking moves.
Yeah. So it's basically like, looks like the human joystick just juked out Godzilla. Godzilla is the cerebellum. That's the movement. That's the reptilian mind. And then King Kong is the monkey mind. And then the 3-headed dragon, Monster Zero, what is it, Lord Githorith?
Yeah, Ghidra?
Ghidra, whatever.
Ghidorah? I don't know.
Ghidorah? It's some...
Alien dragon guy.
Yeah, and so that is the neocortex. That's like the frontal lobe. So it's
Okay.
like cerebellum, monkey mind, you know, the frontal lobe, the neocortex. Basically, like,
And equating those.
it's just
to,
conquering. It's conquering it and giving what those minds need. You know, you need movement. You need love. Sometimes you need to just cut it off. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of what, like, cutting off the head of the 3-headed dragon is like, like you're able to cut off that higher level, that higher faculty of your mind.
And sometimes that's what you need to just exist.
Exactly. And then I say Perseus persuaders, treacherous traitors, master debater. So Perseus did cut off, the head of, I don't know if you'd say she's a dragon, but she's kind of like she's a nymph. She's like a serpent, mermaid,
Who did Perseus kill?
reptile. So Perseus is pretty much the dude that killed Medusa.
Oh, yeah. She's a Gorgon, right?
That's what it is. I was trying to find that word. Yeah. Gorgon.
She's the queen. She's the queen of them.
Yeah, she's freaking Hydra.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm thinking about her. Gross.
She's, yeah.
Gnarly monster.
So Perseus persuader, so basically like persuading in a way that kind of cuts off all the complexities to make it simple.
Right.
And then there's going to be treacherous traitors in that. You're going to find out basically within doing all that. And then being a master debater. So I can speak on a lot of different subjects, and I can kind of handle myself in a conversation pretty well. So I'm pretty good at debating, depending on whatever level. If it gets intense,
Right.
if it gets real, like, cool, chilled, relaxed, or whether it's just like, we're just chopping it up.
Right, but that's like a skill too,
Yeah, it's
more
just-
so than a.
Rhetoric, articulation. And then I say human nature is the pervading force of the universe. Psych, that's just like, I'm just playing, guys. We're not the whole thing.
Ain't gotta be that serious.
Yeah. And then I say I'm just an ass clown, a mere smoker, toking, juggling joker that's traveling town to town. So I'm just somebody going town to town, basically just experiencing, making good memories, having an impact on the world, and kind of
Right.
making my mark, my energetic signature, and that's kind of concludes the song.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, man, that's Chaos.
Chaos.
So yeah, we're about to go get some food, man.
Yeah.
Now just like we've done throughout this entire series, I appreciate you being a part of this, man.
Of course, man. Thank you.
And you
for-
too, appreciate you being a part of this too. And
I wish we could give him a.
I would, and he does, yeah. He does a little bit. But yeah, man, this is like the series of all these breakdowns and whatnot. I appreciate being a part of this. So yeah, let's go get some food, man.
Yeah,
and
celebrate.
Play this for real.
You wanna talk about stirring the pot? Please, I stir galaxies. But that's only to change your neuroplasticities. Doing something like that, you might have just woken up the rainbow serpent.